Nearly 1 in 3 Americans over 65 lives alone. They're either widowed, divorced, or never married at all. But regardless of how you got here, retiring solo brings with it a unique set of challenges and opportunities. Without a spouse, there's no second income, no caregiver, and no one to catch small health issues before they become big health issues if you happen to miss it. But here's the good news. Retiring single, at least in today's day and age, can not only be secure, but deeply fulfilling. This video walks through the 10 most important steps, ranked from least important to most important, that every solo retiree should take. Each one builds towards a retirement that isn't just independent, but it's also empowered. Let's start with number 10 and work our way down to the single most important item on the list, in my humble opinion. Number 10, travel planning strategies. As a solo retiree, you need to plan differently than couples, and that starts with cost. Single travelers typically spend 20 to 50% more in supplements than couples do. But there is a way to avoid this. Look for companies that cater to single individuals. They put people together, or they just have the supplements waived completely. Safety is another issue. Consider leaving your travel information with a trusted friend. Also consider things like travel insurance and how you'll pay for medical costs if you're out of the country. Also think about community. Solo travelers often will get together on places like social media. And on social media, they'll develop friendships, and those friendships sometimes last a lifetime. Finally, plan with flexibility and have a plan B, because traveling solo means that you have to deal with things like weather, illness, and other issues that are better dealt with two people than with one. Number 9, spending boundaries. One of the most overlooked benefits of retiring with someone else is that there's a natural check and balance in the relationship. If one partner starts to spend a little bit too much, the other one might step in and say something. But if you're solo, you don't have that checks and balance. When you're reviewing your credit card statement, it's easy to justify one-off purchases, overly generous gifts, or other things that someone else might catch and help you come to a better realization, shall we say. That's why solo retirees can create automatic systems that act as financial safeguards. Start with spending alerts on your bank and credit card accounts. These alerts will tell you if a purchase is over a specific limit. Even though you know it's over a specific limit, it makes you think twice when you're the one who is receiving the alert. Next, split your purchases up between necessities and discretionary. That way you're not spending grocery money on the new 85-inch television. You might want to even adopt a rule, like a 72-hour pause before you buy anything over $500. And here's something that many people don't consider. A solo retiree should consider working with a financial planner, not just for investments, but for oversight and guidance. Even one meeting a year provides that extra layer of discipline, because when no one's watching, you need to be your own financial backstop. Number 8, support network development. Retiring solo means that you don't have a built-in sounding board, partner, or companion that you can run ideas past. So you need to build your network with intention. One of the best places to start is with social infrastructure. Think about community groups, clubs, hobbies. These are areas where people that are like-minded get together to share in a common interest. These groups aren't just a way to pass time, though. They're an essential lifeline when you're talking about building up a network of people that can help each other. Next, think about social logistics. Who brings you soup when you're sick, takes you to outpatient surgery and back home again? Who notices when you aren't at the book club? Make a list of 3 to 5 people that you can rely on and let them know that they're on your list. You might even want to make a list of other solo retirees so that you can help each other. If your family lives far away, consider moving closer. Support doesn't need to be daily, but it does need to be accessible. Solo retirement doesn't mean going it alone, but it does mean that you need to build your network before you need it. Next up, housing decisions. Your home is one of your biggest assets, but it's also one of your biggest risks. Couples often lean on each other for errands, upkeep, and other aspects of owning a home. But for a solo retiree, everything falls to one person. So your plan needs to be safe, manageable, and future ready. Start by asking, can I age in place safely here? Are there stairs? Is the bathroom safe? Can first responders get to me if I am by myself? And if you're ever hospitalized, who will look after your home and potentially your pets if you have pets? Solo retirement demands that your housing be both functional and supportive. You don't want to be stuck in a 4-bedroom home with a broken furnace and a broken hip, especially if you can plan in advance to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. Number 6, estate planning complexity. Estate planning happens a little bit more naturally when you're married because the assets fall to the surviving spouse, usually anyway. But when you're single, nothing happens automatically. Your estate plan isn't just about what falls to who, but who helps you if you can't help yourself, who speaks for you if you can't speak for yourself. Start with a will and be very specific about who gets what, especially if you want to contemplate charities, friends, and distant relatives into the mix. Next, consider a trust, especially if you have real estate investment accounts and you want to avoid probate. Update your beneficiaries on all accounts, your 401k, your IRA, annuities, and life insurance, because the beneficiaries on these accounts override what's in your will. And create a When I'm Gone file, which includes things like funeral instructions, passwords, contact information, and location of valuables. Number 5, your Social Security strategy, one that's near and dear to my heart. Your Social Security claiming strategy needs to be even more airtight when you're single. Why? Because you don't have access to spousal benefits or survivor benefits, which means that your decisions are final and they are totally owned by you. Start by identifying your full retirement age. For most of you, that's somewhere between 66 years and 8 months and 67 if you're watching this video and you haven't filed for Social Security yet. Then consider your life expectancy. If you have a long life expectancy, then filing later might make more sense than filing earlier. Also, if you were married but now are divorced, even if your ex-spouse remarried, you might still qualify for spousal benefits. Lastly, think about taxes. Unfortunately, when you're single, your Social Security gets taxed at a lower level than if you were married. So plan withdrawals and part-time income very carefully. Number 4, income replacement strategy. When you're married and you retire, you have potentially 2 sources of Social Security, 2 sources of 401ks, 2 sources of pensions or other similar types of vehicles. But when you're retiring solo, you don't have those. When you retire solo, everything is 100% your responsibility. This includes everything from the roof to your health care to your groceries. And that's why income planning for solo retirees is so critical. Start by creating a detailed retirement budget and make it fully costed. Include everything: health insurance, the gym membership, the cost of your automobile insurance, everything. And once you've created this budget, then and only then can you start thinking about other things. Then ask, how much of this can I cover with guaranteed income, Social Security, pensions, and annuities, as an example. If there's a gap, and there usually is, debate how much will come from withdrawals and how much will come from additional work that you'll have to engage in before retiring fully. Also consider increasing your emergency fund from the traditional 6 months to 12 to 18. Now, why is this? Because you don't have a second income to fall back on if the market moves against you for a period of time. And history has shown that the market moves against people 1 out of 4 years on average. So retirees need to be more conservative, not less. Your safety net is only as strong as you make it. Number 3, long-term care insurance. Long-term care can wipe out even the most extensive saving if you get it wrong. Most people don't realize this, but if you need help with things like bathing, managing medications, or other activities that your partner can normally help you with, Medicare does not cover this. That's why long-term care insurance is one of the most prudent moves a solo retiree can make. Start by researching policies that cover in-home care, not just nursing facilities. Then examine policies that offer hybrid coverage, that bundle long-term care and life insurance potentially anyway. And 3 big factors that you should consider are how long you're going to have to wait, your daily and monthly caps, and inflation protection. Premiums rise significantly over 60 and keep going up, so act swiftly if this is something that you want to do. If you're past the age where you can get a reasonable priced long-term care policy, consider limited coverage, because limited coverage is still better than no coverage at all. Number 2, emergency planning. Now, this is one that you might have seen in the news with actor Gene Hackman, but the scenario for the everyday person is something like you fall in the shower, you can't get your phone, and 2 days go by before someone checks on you. Emergency planning is more than just knowing when to call 911. It's having a buddy system set up to check on you if you're not accessible for a period of time. Start with technology. Have something like a smartwatch, which will alert someone or a list of someone's if you fall. This happened to my mother-in-law, and aside from it scaring the heck out of my wife, a notification went off from her smartwatch and notified her, her sister, and 2 other people. And within minutes, an ambulance was there to help her deal with the situation. Enable emergency access on your phone, which includes in case of emergency contacts and medical ID information. Then create an emergency file with prescription information, medical information, allergies, contact information. Everything you think that should go in that emergency file should go in that emergency file. And put it somewhere obvious, like on your fridge or entryway. And most importantly, create a check-in system with friends and relatives. It can be a daily text, a shared calendar, anything where they check on you and potentially you check on them, depending on if they're a solo retiree as well. And finally, number 1, power of attorney in healthcare proxies. This one is so important for solo retirees. Let me explain what they are. If you become incapacitated, who manages your money, makes medical decisions on your behalf, and pays your bills? If you don't have a power of attorney and healthcare proxy, the answer is no one. And in that case, the courts step in and appoints someone you've never met to make those decisions for you. And these may not be the decisions that you want to be made for you. To avoid this, have someone that you trust named in your legal documents, a financial power of attorney to handle your assets, liabilities, and your bills, a healthcare proxy to make decisions about your health if you can't make those decisions yourself. This can be the same person or different people, but make sure that you have a real discussion with them, letting them know that they are the person you've chosen, and talk to them about your values and your wishes. Also, review your selection every few years because who knows, things have changed. Maybe you got in an argument with somebody, or maybe they're just no longer in your life for one reason or another. If no one close is available, then consider hiring a professional fiduciary to do these duties for you. They do exist, and they specialize in solo retirees who need this type of service. Keep a copy of these documents where they can easily be found, and let your trusted partners in this know exactly where they are. And to be clear, this isn't just about logistics. It's making sure that your voice is still heard, even if you can't speak. You don't have a partner to lean on, but you have something just as powerful, and that's a plan. The truth is, solo retirees don't have less support. They just need to be more intentional about how they put this support in place. Here's what to do next. Pick 2 items from today's list. Make 1 logistical, like a power of attorney, and 1 emotional, like starting to build your network. And keep going. Take concrete actions this week. Download the form, talk to a neighbor, make a phone call, and do the same thing next week and the week after, and strongly consider talking to a financial planner to help you help yourself, because a lot of them do everything we're talking about in this video today. If you like this video, please make sure you click subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. And also, please make sure you give it a like, because YouTube uses the number of thumbs up on a video to raise it in the search result, and I want to help as many people as possible. This is Jeff Schmidt, and thanks for watching.
Holy Schmidt!